Hello YouTube, Larry Large Stacks here, giving you a full USVI stack video today. USVI is a little company from California that started producing little 1-ounce stackers in 1980 and 81, and they also did some rounds that I'm going to show you today. The one that everybody's most familiar with is this little 1-ounce stacker with the big A on the front, and then on the back it's going to say written out 1 ounce troy. It'll have an assay number, generally speaking, and then down on the bottom, as you can see, it'll say USVI Ingot Company, and then the date of 1981. That's the one that's most prevalent, as you can see by my stack, and then they've got variations of all their little bars. So first up is the A-mark little bar with the same front, but on the back, the difference is you're going to notice 2 little stars right next to that assay number. You see right there? Somewhat a little bit more rare, and then the date on the bottom is 1980. You can see it, a good shot there. The other variation on this bar is on the bottom of the bar on the back. Instead of saying USVI Ingot Company, it's going to say A-mark Precious Metals. This is who USVI was making them for at the time. There's a good shot of that right there. So you don't see as many of those 2 versions, but they are out there from time to time. And then along in the other little stacker portfolio, they had the stackers that said Anaheim Metal Company across the front. You'll see those out there as well. On the back, the dates on those are going to be 1981. Then they had a different bar here that had A-mark in an oval, and you can see the front there, what that looks like. On the back, this is going to say 1980 was the year that they made these. And then in rare circumstances, you'll see a couple different versions of A-mark. The A-mark oval bar. You'll see this one here that has 1 OZ troy on the back as opposed to 1 ounce written out. So that's a little different. And then next up, you're going to see, instead of 1980, the bar will say 81 on the bottom. I've only got one of those. And then continuing on in the stacker environment, they produced this bar with just the big 1 on the front. Pretty cool little bar. You don't see a ton of them. On the back, you'll see the 1981 and the similar back as all the others, but that's a pretty good cool little bar. And then next up, they produced the 10-ounce versions of those bars. So we'll swing over here, and this is the bar that everybody kind of sees a lot of on the 10-ounce. Looks very much like the common 1 ounce. It's got the assay number, the lot number on the back, and then it'll say USVI Ingot on the bottom. So then variations of this bar include the same front as you saw before, and with the difference being A-mark Precious Metals on the bottom. Those are a little bit more rare. You don't see as many of them. I've only got a couple of those. Next up, you'll see a version of what we looked at before in the 1 ounce, the Anaheim Metal Company on the front, and then the USVI, the similar back. And then the other version of the 10-ounce bar is it'll say C. Ryan and Associates on the front. I didn't show you the 1 ounce of that yet. I'll do that next. But again, USVI Ingot on the bottom, C.A. Ryan on top. A little bit more rare, demands pretty good premiums out there. You do see them from time to time. Then here's one I've only seen one time in its purest form, and what I mean by that is that this is the what they call the Jackass bar by USVI on the back, and you're going to see that it's clearly it was made by them, right? USVI Ingot stamped on here. You'll see some of them out here which may have been produced by them, but who knows? It looks a little different. The bar is a little flatter. It doesn't have the same ridges, and it doesn't say USVI on the front. So anyway, I have one of those. Pretty cool. Now let's go over here to the 1 ounce C. Ryan so that you can see that bar, little stacker. So what that looks like on the back, and then that's how that compares to that one right there, that 10-ounce version. Following in that same theme, they've got a bar they produced that says 1 troy ounce on the front. Little flat bar, a little bit flatter than the chubby stacker, right? squared off, not rounded. And then it's got the similar markings on the back, USVI written up top. Pretty cool little bar. Got some of those. Then I've got what they called, and into the rounds here, I've got what's called a commercial round. And it's a little bit bigger. It's 1 ounce as well. And then on the back it just has the USVI ingot stamp on that. So I've got a few of those. And then here's a bar that's probably one of the most rare USVI bars. I don't hardly ever see them. It's a flat bar that they produced. They didn't produce very many of these, and you won't see them around, so it's kind of cool. I'd like to pick up another one of these if I could, but just the USVI simple plain flat bar, hard to find. If you know of any of those out there, that'd be great. And then let's get into the rounds a little bit. This one was a round. They didn't produce very many of them because nobody liked them. It's called the experimental round, and it's got a similar backing on it as the other rounds, as you see here, that they produced 7 of. And so then I've got the Mayan head and that back, a little bit different back. They did produce, I think, 4 or 5 different backs. Here's what they call the bull, back of that one. And next up is Pisces. Pretty cool little rounds. Back of that. And then I've got a couple of the sun version. It's a good little bar, good little round, I mean. And then here's one they call Chariot. And then finally I have some of these they called Roman head. And then I'll show you the backs of these so you can get a little bit of, I've got more of these so you can see the difference in the backs. A little bit different. And then I think the last one, yeah, a little bit different as well. Then moving on, I've also, these rounds came in this original packaging right here, which was no one liked that either. So there's not much of that around anymore because people just threw it away. So if you can get a hold of those, that's a pretty nice little score as well. Now you'll notice that I'm missing 2 pieces from their collection, only 2 pieces. It's a San Diego coin exchange bar, which is shaped just like the main bar here. And then I'm also missing one of these rounds. It's the ram. It's got a ram's head on it, similar in size as the sun, but it is a ram. So I'd love to find and hook up with one of those. Last thing, they also produced the 100-ounce bars, so I've got those things right here. Pretty cool, pretty heavy. They can stack also, so I like the way that they just are able to stack right on top of each other here. Kind of cool. That's it. Like, comment, subscribe. Full stack USVI video. I'd be interested in other collections to see how big they are. Actually, just forgot one thing. They produced this little 1-ounce bar also. This little flat bar, the A mark. I don't know that USVI did this, but I got them anyway. So, got a few of those sitting there. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you see any other USVI collectors that have a collection like this. I'd love watching that. Take care.